Good morning, good evening, good night for episode 2 of Occult Class with me. I'm Bob, and you?
I am Christine.
Nailed it. Oh, man. 2 episodes in, we're perfect.
Perfect.
In sync.
Yep.
Like the band.
Yep.
Fuck, that was bad. This episode, I'll be talking about in the second half, the Snallygaster and the Bunny Man. You, Christine?
I'll be talking about the Heikegani and Hoichi the Earless. I'm doing a yokai. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think yours might be from a far-off land.
Oh, yeah. From Nippon.
Well, I'm excited. You might as well start first since you got this air of mystery about it. I don't even know what those things mean. All I heard was earless.
Hoichi the Earless and Heikegani. I guess I'll start with the Heikegani.
I mean, if you want, why not?
So you don't know what they are at all? Can you? I mean, you've seen pictures.
Hikikomori, you can't leave your house. So I have to assume a Hikigani is you can't leave the crab.
No.
Oh shit. What is it then?
Heike is a clan, like a family clan, and Gani or Gani means crab.
Clan crab.
Well, it's like a family crab, so it'd be like Freitas crab.
Nice. Smith crab.
Yeah, Smith crab. So.
Alright.
Yeah.
What does that mean then? What does that entail?
Well, the funny thing is that it's supposed to be a yokai, but it actually exists.
Oh.
Their alternative name is the samurai crab, because
it's like the coelacanth or the okapi, a discovered cryptid.
Exactly. Okapis are a cryptid?
People didn't know they were real till they found it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, the thylacine is a cryptid because it's supposed to be dead, but people see it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very neat. That's true.
So, Heikegani are these type of crabs that look like they have human faces on their shell, on the back of their shell. It looks like, if you look at like a kabuki mask of a samurai, it looks like that. It's quite interesting, and I think the reasoning for it is just like it was a type of selective breeding, but a natural selective breeding, and somehow they just made it that way and created what they look like now. It's very interesting. But the reason why they are yokai is because they're believed to be reincarnations of these warriors of the Heike clan, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I mean,
the Heike warriors were defeated in the Battle of Dan no Ura. Yeah, I'll have to go into the history of Dan no Ura, because that has to do with also leading into my second story.
Oh,
so
you connected your 2 stories? That's weird. I mean, geez. Nice job.
I really wanted to do a lot and do some research. So I found out more about the Dan no Ura, which is the battle between the Heike clan, who was in power at the time. The emperor was of the Heike clan, and the Minamoto clan. And they were fighting over the throne. And the Genpei War, which was started in like 1180 and it ended at 1185, so it lasted 5 years. So the battle took place in the Dan no Ura Bay, though the Heike clan, who was in power, again, they were in power. The emperor at the time was a 7-year-old boy. He was 7 years old.
Oh, baby!
He was a baby, and he was leading. He was actually in the battle.
My sweet baby. Teach me the ways of the death.
It was him and his grandmother who were leading these troops.
Baba!
Yeah.
Son. Baba Yaga.
Though, unfortunately, I'm not sure exactly how. It's history, so there's good and bads. But the Heike clan was defeated, and instead of having the emperor, possibly getting kidnapped and like tortured by the Minamoto clan. His grandmother took it upon herself to grab him and throw both of them into the ocean from the cliff.
Oh, sweet. Good, nice job, Grandma.
In a suicide. A murder-suicide of a minor. That's horrible.
Well, it's her minor.
With this also, the Heike clan warriors, the samurai, also took this lead and committed suicide. All of them. They threw themselves into the water.
Shit.
So, again, these spirits are supposed to be put in, like, reincarnated into these crabs. And, yeah, they're really cool. Again, they exist. You can see them. If you look up Heikegani or a samurai crab, you'll be able to find them. And I think that's really cool. I don't think they're supposed to do anything other than just exist and look scary. But
you probably shouldn't. You're probably not supposed to fuck with them.
Probably.
Like bet you it's rude.
But that kind of leads into the story of Hoichi. This is like a ghost story. This is a ghost story. Hoichi the Earless is about a blind minstrel who actually told this tale of the Heike clan with either a biwa or sometimes depicted with a flute. But he tells or sing the story, and it's quite interesting. He lived in the Amidaji temple, which is actually where the emperor was not buried but laid to rest, kind of idea, without the body, obviously.
Yeah, so nothing really, kind of just a ceremony.
Yeah, the ceremony was at the Amidaji temple. So Hoichi lived there with the monks, and he would play there. And again, he's blind; he cannot see. I'm just gonna. One night he is approached by a samurai, and the samurai says, "What do you call it?
Watch this one." He's like, "Come on."
Trying to remember the word. My retainer. He's saying my retainer would like you to play for the nobility of our clan.
Oh my.
And Hoichi, wanting to further his talents, he just wanted to show how cool he was, went to go play for them, and he told the story of the Heike clan and all that stuff, and the nobles loved it. And the following night he's asked again to go visit this noble clan, but the monks notice him leaving, so they end up following him because they're like, where is he disappearing off to? And then they follow him to the Amidaji cemetery, where he plays alone in the cemetery.
Good sign.
So they're like, oh no, he's been, when I was reading it, they call it bewitched. I'm going to say he's been fooled with by ghosts. So that the next night, they tell him not to leave the Amidaji temple. They tell him to sit in one spot and not to move. And they have painted on what is it called? They painted on the characters of the Heart Sutra all over his body. He's literally just wearing underwear, and he's told to sit still. He's covered head to toe in kanji.
That'll keep away the
to
ghosts.
Protect him from the spirits. The samurai does return that night and calls out to him, but the samurai cannot see him, so he's just like, oh, what a flaky guy. And he's so mad that he can't find him, but he sees these ears, because Hoichi's ears are the only thing that do not have the kanji on it. It is the only bare spot on his body. So the samurai can only see his ears. So the samurai rips off his ears and takes them back to his clan. But Hoichi is so scared and terrified of the samurai that he still ends up staying quiet and not moving for the entire night. He ends up not being visited again by the spirits, and he recovers from his injuries and becomes a famous musician. Yeah, that's the ghost story.
Did they ever find his ears?
No, his ears are gone.
Damn, poor Hoichi.
Yeah.
Now he's gotta wear earmuffs. The holes will get cold.
The holes will get cold.
Yeah, you don't think about that stuff, but your ears are natural mittens for the hole.
I guess so.
You know, that was a pretty spooky tale, I'll have to say.
Oh,
it gave me shivers in my boots.
When I learned about this story because I watched a movie called Kwaidan, which is a 1964 film that has like a group of ghost stories, like famous ghost stories. It is really hard to find now, and the one that I found when I was doing my research did not have any subtitles, and it's in ye olde Japanese, so it's a little hard to understand.
Sadly, you are not fluent in the Japanese language.
I am not fluent. I just try to pay attention as best I could, but it was really good watch, and I really like old style or like traditional Japanese stuff. I think it's pretty cool.
Not bad.
What about your stuff? What about your Bunny Man and things like that?
My stuff? I got two. They're both, I would say, half urban legend, half folktale, both of them. I got them both from Monsters of Maryland, Mysterious Creatures in the Old Line State by Ed Okonowicz. I should know how to say it. Okonowicz. It's an odd spelling. It's rather difficult. I wanted to actually get a Massachusetts book, but that's not coming until the end of the month. So for now, we're kicking at Maryland. That's 2 states over. Who cares? First one, the Snallygaster. This is a monster of Western Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guess what the Snallygaster is?
You've mentioned it to me before.
Do you remember?
It is like a dragon, but it's kind of like a dragon and a cockatrice put together.
Yes. It's a dragon-like flying monster, half bird, half reptile. It has multiple tentacles, 25-foot wingspan, talons made of hot, glowing metal, a long, pointed beak, possibly metallic, lined with razor-sharp teeth, and a third red eye on his forehead. Its name is theorized to come from German settlers that came to the region, not the ribbon. That'd be
the
weird.
ribbit.
The ribbit. That isn't that a game? Bit ribbon. Whatever.
Bib.
The German word being Schnellgeist, translated to mean fast ghost or quick spirit. It was thought to have traveled here in 1735, migrating with the settlers. Strangely enough, that's the same year of the supposed birth of the Jersey Devil.
Really?
So they might be siblings.
I really like the Jersey Devil.
They're only like 2 states away. They're not that far away. Remember that description I told you?
Mm-hmm.
Ignore it, because sometimes it just looks like a big cat or a dog.
Rolling my eyes into oblivion. What? Really?
Sometimes it's a werewolf. There's one story where they saw a Sasquatch with a pink ring on its face, and they called it the Snallygaster. It seems that Snallygaster ended up just being a synonym for monster I saw in the woods at some point, because they stopped seeing the big scary dragon. And they're just like, I saw it, I swear. Some of its more interesting traits are its acute sense of smell, its extreme speed, ability to be completely invisible due to its fastness, and it has a big, annoyingly loud whistle screeching sound. They often blame it for carrying off small game, pets, chickens, even children. It's accused of entering people's homes, stealing objects, and then bringing them back later, just to scare them.
Just to scare them?
Yeah, just to piss them off. The Snallygaster is a strange, fickle beast. It operates most commonly at night. That's why it's hard to see. Its reputation actually got so big and obnoxious in the papers, President Theodore Roosevelt heard of it, and if he had heard more interesting and realistic details, he was thinking about going and trying to kill it. Because you already killed an elephant, might as well kill a dragon.
Jeez.
Oh, another report gave it, the guy goes, I saw the Snallygaster. It was a cross between a tiger and a vampire. So I can't even think of what that would look like, other than either a tiger with bigger canines or a vampire with stripes. Both of which look nothing like a dragon.
Yeah.
There's a report that everyone saw the Snallygaster fly by and do its big annoying whistle, and a local politician dropped dead due to the sound. There was a report of a man killing a baby Snallygaster. 5 feet tall, speckled feathers, 4-inch claws, and a 4-inch bill. He disposed of the body. They never found that, so that's hearsay. One report given to police by a man said he fought the Snallygaster in his backyard. He beat it into submission to make it leave, but the Snallygaster was a bipedal, furry creature with the face of a wolf and a bushy tail. So, a werewolf or a dog man.
Why are they...
And he actually called it the Dueo afterwards.
Dueo?
And the Dueo is another Maryland monster. Some stories claim it's the offspring of the Snallygaster, while others describe it as its mortal enemy, and they tend to fight quite often. That is also a creature, myth, folktale, monster, originating from German folklore. This one being Pennsylvania. The Hexenwolf, which is essentially the same thing as the Dueo, but has a cooler name. It has the amazing abilities of instantaneous camouflage, like a cuttlefish. And if it catches your gaze, it can project its thoughts into your mind. You don't want to fuck with it, though. It will fuck you up if it's on the hunt. But it normally ignores people. It's been also seen to attack cattle and ransack your trash or cellars for food. But Hexenwolves do not attack dogs or cats. And they've actually been seen with cats in their packs.
Cats in their packs. Okay.
So, at the end of the day, the Snallygaster is clearly just a large, silly folktale someone made up, and everybody kept making it crazier as it went on, and it's really funny for them. Because one person, as a joke, said they saw the Snallygaster and he was riding a tricycle in the air with water wings on.
Really?
Yeah, they love it. They just, everybody's, it was back, I think, what did I say, 1735, so the late 1700s, early 1800s. That shit, it was olden days. People were bored out of their minds. One newspaper made a whole story, a 9-part story, The Death of the Snallygaster, where the Snallygaster falls into a giant vat of illegal moonshine and drowns. And after that, it disappeared for a while. Nobody talked about the Snallygaster.
That's so goofy.
Do you feel well informed? That's a Snallygaster.
Snallygaster.
Classic Germanic folklore. Beautiful. Mwah. And we're going to go to the next one, and even better. This one's an urban legend, specifically. The Bunny Man. Could you guess what the Bunny Man is?
The man bunny?
No, it's just a man dressed as a bunny, actually.
That's so boring.
No, see, wait, though. The legend goes, there was an asylum/prison that was shut down. While the inmates were in transit to the next location, the transport truck crashed, killing the driver and allowing the inmates to escape. 10 escapees. Only 9 were caught. A while later, skinned rabbits began to appear in the woods, hung from the trees. And the police were called after a human victim was found in the same manner. After a search, they managed to locate the missing inmate, and while chasing him down, he was hit by a train on a bridge overcrossing. And they say after the train made its pass, they could hear his maniacal laughter. So that bridge now, where that is supposed to happen, is called the Bunnyman Bridge.
Uh-huh.
And after this case, they looked into the inmate, and he was sent to asylum prison because he killed his wife and child on Easter Sunday. The Bunnyman.
God, really?
So now we get to some of the sightings. One sighting of the Bunnyman. A private security guard was doing his rounds. He was tasked with guarding some new buildings under construction.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing his rounds. He walks up. He looks over. There's a man in a bunny suit on the front porch of this newly constructed house, holding a hatchet. And when he attempted to talk to the Bunnyman, he began to chop furiously at the porch and yelled, "All people trespass around here. If you don't get out of here, I'm going to bust you on the head." So the guard ran away to get his gun from his car, and by the time he came back, he was gone. A second sighting involved an Air Force cadet and his friend waiting for their uncle in their car. And a bunny man, a man dressed as a bunny, came bounding out of the bushes and hummed a hatchet through the car window, and they drove away. So the bunny man is just a very deranged man tweaking out. And at some point, people kept seeing sightings, and then they saw sightings in a different town, I believe. And there was 2 bunny men now, which led to the original bunny man calling a newspaper to complain, saying, "It's getting so you can't even run around in a rabbit suit these days without some nut giving you trouble." So everybody at this point is making fun and scared and laughing at the bunny man all at the same time. And some cops were doing their field work and went to local costume places, and a bunny suit had been stolen. Dun dun dun. And then the last thing I have are some oral accounts of people and the bunny man legend. The bunny man is half man, half rabbit. The upper half rabbit, lower half man. Scary, I know. He's the cousin to the goat man. The goat man, he goes bah, but the bunny man goes because he's a bunny. You know, they make that stupid noise.
Yeah.
Cause yeah.
Oh my God.
Usually he carries a hatchet, but sometimes he'll settle for a machete or a sledgehammer. He's not that picky. And there's another bunny man. One bunny man is said to be old, has a long white beard, and wears a long stocking cap over his face. Did that scare you?
No.
Come on, dude. Bunny man's scary, man.
Does it scare you?
He'll throw hatchets at you.
It makes me
And then
It makes me
leave.
think of those clowns that just started showing up.
No, yeah, he's basically the progenitor of Creepy Clown. He was Creepy Bunny. He just walks around in the woods yelling at people with a hatchet. He was basically the first ICP member. It's a pull, I know. It's a reach. I think that might be the case, though.
Oh my God.
But that's it for those. They're not the best. They're cute. They're silly. I would honestly, the thing with Monsters of Maryland, Mysterious Creatures in the Old Line State,
Mm-hmm.
by Ed Okonowicz, it's actually really well written, and stories, not the stories, but at the beginning of each, he takes one of the stories and he writes it as like 2 people talking about it, so it's like a little story, and then he talks about it as if it was the real story. So it really gets you in the mood at the beginning, like it's a little spooky story, even though it's not spooky at all. The first story was just Teddy Roosevelt talking to, I think, Taft about the Snallygaster, and then the other one was about some kids being like, "The Bunny Man."
Sorry, man.
But it's a really pleasant read. It's only like $9, and I think it's cheaper even on Kindle, like $8. So I'd recommend buying this silly encrypted book, unless you don't want to.
I mean, I don't have any cryptid books or even yokai books to.
I have like 14 of them. One of them's just a demonology book. I might do a demon one day. That'd be
That'd
fun.
be pretty cool. You should totally do that.
There's a lot of
I hope
them.
my yokai thing was interesting enough. Yours is so outlandish.
Mine is interesting.
Yours
though.
is really interesting.
Well, thank you. I like crab ghosts.
You like crab?
Never know. Well, I guess I like this. This was a short episode. It was a nice tidbit. It was delicious. Quick bite.
Delicious tidbit.
I think that's my new catchphrase. Delicious. What a delicious episode. Well. Good morning, good evening, good night. I think that's the end.
Yeah.
Did you have a fright?
Did you? We're not pushing that. Holy crap.
I might have to push that. Thank you guys for tuning into Occult Class.
Yes.
I was Bob.
And I was Christine.